From Indiana's business news leader, this is IBJ Media's Inside Indiana Business with Gerry Dick, presented by Elevate Ventures, Indiana University, and LaUna.
Hello and welcome to Inside Indiana Business. I'm Gerry Dick, coming to you this week from downtown Indianapolis, just outside Gainbridge Fieldhouse, where once again the city and the state are preparing to be in the global sports spotlight.
Halliburton steals it into the open floor. He got it to Siakam, who threw down the right-hand tomahawk.
First, it was the Indiana Pacers' magical run in the NBA Finals that took them to Game 7. Now, the ball bounces to the best women's basketball players on earth. Indianapolis hosting the WNBA All-Star Game, which is just part of a jam-packed weekend in the city, one that celebrates hoops, culture, and bling. Whether you're arriving by car,
even if you don't have tickets to the game, they put a lot of time and effort in to make this city a lot of fun for a lot of people that are coming into town. And so just thank you to Pacer Sport and Entertainment, and it'll be a great celebration of the W. We're excited.
Or by plane.
It is incredibly meaningful to see the WNBA showing up so powerfully with our own WNBA Indy home court at the airport.
You get the vibe something big is going on here in Indianapolis. And it is. The city rolling out the orange carpet for the WNBA All-Star Game, drawing tens of thousands of basketball fans to Indianapolis, where they will spend money pumping big bucks into the regional economy. Hotels look solid. Bars and restaurants packed. But that's not the only game in town. Indiana Black Expo celebrating its 54th summer celebration. And elite jewelers from around the world are also in Indy, showcasing their glam and sparkle at the Independent Jewelers Organization Summer Show. Downtown Indianapolis certainly buzzing this weekend, and we begin our show this week with a key person, a key player in putting together the WNBA All-Star Game in Indianapolis, the CEO of Pacer Sports and Entertainment, Mel Raines. Mel, it's always great to see you.
Thanks for having me on, Gerry.
Okay, Gainbridge and the area around Gainbridge and downtown, this, I assume, has been a madhouse between, the NBA Finals hosting here just a few weeks ago and getting ready for this big game.
Yeah, it really is. I think we're wrapping up what's been a couple of months between the Eastern Conference Finals, the NBA Finals, which were a great training for us for WNBA All-Star to get ready to hosting this summer event, and couldn't be better for downtown for us to be able to have this much activity in Gainbridge Fieldhouse.
As you look at the activation downtown with local businesses, the signage, all the things that people have noticed and are noticing as they come downtown, very substantial.
It is. I mean, just driving around myself, the amount of signage, and maybe it's the time of year, we have so much more daylight than we did during February NBA All-Star. It seems to me to be even more impactful than it was in 2024 for the NBA All-Star Game.
No, you don't know the economic impact yet. I think you're going to do a report, a study, a post-event. But generally speaking, as you look at the economic impact and the impact of visibility on Indianapolis of this game, what does it mean?
I mean, it's an incredible thing to be spoken about on the news. This week we had a game on ESPN, the Fever did, and they were talking about the All-Star Game in Indianapolis through the whole broadcast, and that's happening all over the country this week. And so that all adds up to real dollars in terms of our economic impact for the event. We will do the study. I know that the bars and restaurants will be very full this weekend. There's a lot of private events, and I think there's a lot of people coming downtown to enjoy this. So I'm excited to see what that is. It's a different event than the NBA All-Star Game. It's certainly not as long, but I think we'll have a proportional impact as we did to the NBA All-Star Game.
And as you look at downtown Indianapolis, another major event, Indiana Black Expo, the summer celebration going on at the same time. And I think there's been an effort to really collaborate and to partner with Black Expo.
Yeah, Alice Watson and I started speaking about this from the very beginning to make sure that we could do these well together, collaborate and complement each other's events. And I think we've been able to do that and make sure that everything that they do is being enhanced, and everything that we're doing, they're able to be a part of and promote for the people coming downtown for that event as well.
What does this event do? I know we've talked about this before. The Indiana Sports Corporation, among their goals for the next 25 or so years, is to make Indianapolis the epicenter of women's sports. What does this event do to that effort?
Well, in order to become the epicenter of women's sports, you have to host the most premier women's sporting events in the country. And I would say that the WNBA All-Star Game that we are hosting and the Women's Final Four are two of the biggest. And so we've got those on the calendar, and we'll do those very successfully, I'm confident, and then we'll go on to the next thing. But I think that they're a pillar in what the Sports Corp is trying to do.
Mel Raines, President and CEO at Pacer Sports and Entertainment. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks, Gary.
The All-Star against the second-year player. 3 seconds. Catchings for the win. Got it!
Well, Tamika Catchings is considered the first queen of the court in Indianapolis, the 10-time WNBA All-Star.
Tamika Catchings comes up with the loose ball, goes the other way, less than 10 seconds in the OT. She gets the layup.
4-time Olympic gold medalist, Naismith Hall of Famer.
And Indiana has won the WNBA championship for the very first time.
And a member of the 2012 Indiana Fever WNBA championship team, played all 16 seasons of her pro career in Indy. Tamika is still a prominent figure here, business owner, philanthropist, one of the captains pushing girls sports, and now as part of the kickoff to WNBA All-Star Weekend, Tamika has her own mural on Mass Ave.
It makes me feel proud when you go back just to the beginning of the WNBA, and especially because there were so many people that said it wouldn't lie, it wouldn't make it. And so 5 years here, another 5 years, another 5 years, and you know, especially right now, just seeing the growth the last couple of years. I think I'm most proud just to see the women continue to grow.
The artist who created Tamika's likeness on Mass Ave, street painter and muralist Nate Baranowski from South Bend. Well, coming up next, how professional basketball is fueling a new business district that is emerging around Gainbridge Fieldhouse. We'll have more from downtown Indy when we come back. And welcome back to downtown Indianapolis and Gainbridge Fieldhouse, playing host to the WNBA All-Star Game. Pleased to be joined now by Visit Indy Executive Vice President Chris Gahl as we talk economic impact. Chris, it's always great to see you.
Thanks for having me on, Gary. It's fun to see the city dressed up.
Yeah, in a big way, again, following the NBA Finals. The latest in a series of big events that Indianapolis typically does so well. And this weekend, the focus on Indianapolis will be huge. 70,000 expected downtown for the All-Star Game, but that's on top of Indiana Black Expo.
Yeah, we have Indiana Black Expo summer celebration with roughly 80,000 visitors. There's a jewelry convention, also meeting inside the convention center with tens of thousands, and then this piece of the puzzle, the tourism equation, the WNBA All-Star Game. So it's all said, 100,000 plus people in and around Indianapolis spending money, hopefully leaving with a positive impression of our city and bouncing back.
And I guess you could say these events kind of make the case for continued expansion of the convention center, because without the expansion, probably wouldn't be able to host these.
No, 3 separate events, all inside the convention center. That is a big business for us, and an ability to stack and layer groups. We have Visit Indy, 20 different convention meeting decision makers on the ground for the weekend who have never booked Indianapolis. We will walk them to see the Signia and Convention Center expansion, to see Circle Center Mall expanding, to see the CSX project expanding in the Shinola Hotel, and then end up here. That's a moving 3-block walk from the current convention center to think about what Indianapolis will look like into the future.
So you're going to be selling, obviously, Indianapolis and this emerging Fieldhouse District in and around Gainbridge.
Yes, you look at the Fever Practice District, that's something that we're selling into the future. And again, all these bits and pieces and cranes in the air show that we are progressing as a city. And that's impactful and important for someone who is thinking about Indy in the future.
And in terms of an opportunity to showcase the city of Indianapolis, I think you and I were talking earlier, there are about 20 corporate activations going on downtown.
I'm glad you brought that up, Gary, because that is part of why this weekend is so important. 20 corporations are activating, from Nike to Gatorade, from DoorDash to Uber Eats, a lot of big brands activating here, entertaining C-suite executives, and that's also part of this tourism equation.
As you look to sell Indianapolis, and again, I think we'll find the economic impact at a later date once the event is over, but does it kind of put the pressure each time? And Indianapolis delivers time and time again, but each time you're on this global stage is an opportunity, and kind of the pressure's on.
Pressure's on. We've galvanized the hotel, restaurant, tourism ecosystem to make sure we're ready to welcome the world back. You got Good Morning America live from Indianapolis. The spotlight is bright. We feel that the hospitality industry is ready. And with hotel rates 2 or 3 times higher than a normal weekend, big business for the city.
Chris Gahl, Executive Vice President at Visit Indy, as always, thank you.
Thank you, Gary.
All right. Well, after the final buzzer sounds here at Gainbridge Fieldhouse, the impact of the WNBA All-Star Game will be felt for years to come. Here's a look now at some of the big projects that got a funding assist from the local host committee. Just down the road from Gainbridge Fieldhouse, kids at the Fletcher Place Community Center are enjoying an upgraded playground, a new mural, and a revitalized kitchen. The basketball court at Al E. Poland Park receiving new hoops and a fresh coat of paint from artist Kyria Reddy, a lasting tribute to this weekend's game and women's sports.
Fun, bright art, that's what makes you want to be there. That's what makes you feel like my community has something. That's what makes you want to stay in your city.
Expanded training spaces and accessibility enhancements were part of a total makeover for the Marian County Commission on Youth. The organization serves tens of thousands of people each year. A fourth investment is in progress with the Marvella Project, a women and girls sports destination coming to Fair Oaks Farms in Newton County. Sustainability efforts are also taking center court this weekend. Inside Gainbridge Fieldhouse, fans will notice reusable cups, more recycling bins, and front-of-the-house composting. Green Team volunteers will be on site to help direct trash to the proper container.
Being able to replace, over the course of a weekend, 25,000 single-use plastic cups with reusable cups is, engaging every fan in this field house. And that's really incredible. And hopefully having an influence not just on the organization, but on the city and on the sports industry.
Well, we'll be back in studio to round out this week's show, including a look behind the scenes at Marian University's major investment in a former psychiatric hospital facility, turning it into a big workforce and education hub. Stay with us.
Time now for our Eye on Education, brought to you by PNC Bank.
Well, a walk down the halls of a historic hospital in Indianapolis, new life for LaRue Carter, which once housed and treated people suffering from psychiatric issues. Back here in studio now with a look at how Marian University is leading the charge to invest $137 million to turn the building and property into a hub for education and workforce training. Marian President Dan Elstner joins me now with more. And Dan, it's always great to see you.
Good to see you.
Another growth story at Marian. Tell me, Dan, why is this the right time for this project, and what's it going to do?
Gary, we've been very successful. Our enrollment's booming, et cetera. And we've had a board strategy, always look outward and see the needs of the times. And we had this facility in our neighborhood, worked the state and others. And we're going to drive in our neighborhood, 12 schools, educational attainment, and really transform the area using a facility to house a lot of programs. So it's a big project. It'll get us up early, keep us up late, but we're really excited about the difference a university can make in a community as an anchor institution.
A lot of elements there. What are people going to see? I know Vincennes University is part of this partnership. What are people going to see?
You'll see early childhood education. You'll see vocational education. We have an Earn and Learn college with St. Joe. Of course, all the Marian University bachelor's, master's, and doctoral programs, excluding our med school, the Clips Educators College, will join in with the local community, pastors, schools, and we're going to drive educational attainment up over the next 5-10 years in a remarkable manner.
Transformational is, I think, an overused word. Yeah. In this case, I think it applies, though. Yeah. You think this can be really transformational as you look at 5-10 years?
Larry Gingrich, others have done some great research. If you drive educational attainment, you drive investment, wages, household income, confidence in neighborhood, stability in neighborhood, and transformation really is. Because right now, the neighborhood, we have issues with this. In a partnership, walking alongside of each other, big change is coming.
As you look at this project, all of the others, you mentioned the med school and so many other expansions and things you've done, where does this rank? This has to be close to the top, I think.
The med school is a big thing. That's a $107 million project when we started it. But when a university around the country, as an anchor institution, partners with neighbor, Lilly Endowments invested $25 million in this project, and you see a whole neighborhood and city and a template for change. The governor said to me, Dan, this is what we need in our state. We need leaders bringing people together and flipping a situation like maybe they've never seen before.
How does this make you feel personally? I mean, this looks to me like another legacy project. So personally, I'm sure it makes you feel pretty good.
You know, I'm in an institution, as a Catholic university. We understand the value of education is more than private. It's what you do in the world, addressing the signs of the times, and doing something about it. So I don't want to mark time. I want to make time and do something different. So it's a privilege.
As always, Dan Elstner, great to see you. Look forward to seeing you soon.
Thank you very much.
All right.
Here's what's making news around Indiana. Brought to you by the Indiana Association of Realtors. Indiana's 21,000 realtors. The neighbors you know, the experts you can count on.
Well, Amazon is looking to add some 1,000 jobs to northern Indiana, the region there, at its new fulfillment center in Elkhart. Indiana, with a major presence in Amazon's global logistics chain. This facility in Greenwood, one of 37 in the state, employing 26,000 full and part-time workers. The strategy behind Amazon investing in the Elkhart region?
Its location allows us to better serve our customers with faster delivery times. And its strong transportation infrastructure supports our logistics network perfectly. We're also impressed just by the region's skilled workforce and the tremendous support we've received from local officials and community leaders. So Indiana has, consistently proven to be a great partner for Amazon, and Elkhart certainly strengthens our presence.
The new Amazon fulfillment center in Elkhart scheduled to open sometime over the next few months. Well, plans to pursue an $832 million data center project in Michigan City are off the table. Inside Indiana Business, the first news outlet to report on the potential development. In a statement to our partners at the Times of Northwest Indiana, Michigan City Mayor Angie Nelson Deitch says the city and developer could not agree on a tax deal and added there really was limited job creation potential. An update to a major project in Gibson County. Last year, Toyota announced plans to invest $1.4 billion to produce a new electric vehicle at its plant in Princeton. A company spokesperson tells us electric SUVs will now be assembled in Kentucky. Toyota says a large part of the investment involved a new battery pack assembly plant in Princeton, which is currently under construction and on schedule. And this Wednesday marks the big reveal of IBJ Media's Indiana 250, our annual list spotlighting the most influential business and community leaders driving Indiana forward. You'll meet some of the honorees, leaders from every corner of the state, in next week's show. Still ahead for you, Indiana Orthopedic Innovation moving forward in Fort Wayne. And in the orthopedics capital of the world, in Warsaw, how Zimmer is making moves to become the leader in surgical robotics. Details in this week's Business of Health.
The use and demand for robotic medical and surgical platforms is increasing.
Zimmer Biomet making a major business move that it says will secure its place as the boldest innovator in surgical robotics. The Warsaw-based orthopedics giant set to acquire Monogram Technologies, a Texas-based orthopedic robotics company. Business of Health reporter Kylie Valletta here now with what it means. Kylie.
Well, thank you very much, Gary. Industry experts say robotics is one of the fastest growing segments in orthopedics. Monogram's surgical robot for total knee replacements is new to the market, and plans call for the robot to be sold with Zimmer implants starting in 2027. The orthopedic giant says the $177 million deal sets the stage for Zimmer to be the first to market with a fully autonomous ortho robot. The state's largest health system is making a big commitment to the Lafayette area, which a study recently showed as the fastest growing metropolitan area in the U.S. IU Health will be the first to bring a full-service hospital to West Lafayette, set to break ground next year. Currently, the nearest hospitals are in Lafayette, one of them being IU Health Arnett. The full-service West Lafayette Hospital is just one piece of a new $214 million project. IU Health will also relocate its cancer center in Lafayette, building a bigger and more advanced center on the Arnett Hospital campus. And the final piece of the investment will renovate a medical office building in West Lafayette to add specialty care clinics. And just a stone's throw from the orthopedic capital of the world, a Fort Wayne-based orthopedic startup is making its own news. Biopoly has its first patient on the schedule, a Hoosier, who will be part of a clinical study for its new knee implant. Now, Biopoly says the implant fills a major gap in the industry because it's designed for middle-aged patients who are too young for a total knee replacement. The implant surface uses an orthopedic biomaterial created by Biopoly that self-lubricates and mimics cartilage. The technique can delay or even avoid a total knee replacement.
It's kind of like a pothole forming in a road. And so if you can catch that pothole and fill it before you have to resurface the entire road, that's what we do with Biopoly knee implants. For this type of implant in particular, it's the market is in the billions of dollars for the U.S. alone. So it's a very big market that's barely being tapped right now.
The implant requires very high-tech manufacturing, which is also currently done in Fort Wayne. Purdue-based startup Genefiz has earned FDA approval for its lead technology to improve wound care. Called Polymer SAS, the technology forms its own scaffold that helps cells do their job and forms new blood vessels. Genefiz says it could be used in pressure ulcers, diabetic wounds, trauma wounds, and a long list of others.
Back to the Biopoly story, their founder and CEO, he's no stranger to startups, right?
He is not. He created another orthopedic product that was acquired by Stryker. That was in 2007. So this roadmap of having something and then selling it to a giant orthopedic company, this could also be a roadmap for Biopoly.
Great story. Thanks, Kylie. Well, that's all the time we have for this week's show. We leave you with where we started, some sights and sounds of this weekend's WNBA All-Star Game in downtown Indianapolis. Go out and make it a successful week.